Okay, well, Diptyque Laurent joins us now on set for a look through the international newspapers. Diptyque, let's start with Brazil, where Jair Bolsonaro has now officially been sworn in as the new president.
That's right. The far-right president was inaugurated yesterday eve. Jair Bolsonaro is the 38th president of Brazil. That's what this daily paper, O Dia, says on its front page. The controversial leader opted for a conciliatory tone in his speech yesterday, promising to create a Brazilian society, quote, without discrimination or division. He's also announced a rise in the minimum wage from 998 reals from 954. That's about 224 euros. Although not all his decisions have been so popular, one of his key electoral promises was to loosen up Brazil's gun legislation, essentially allowing citizens without a criminal background or criminal record to be able to carry guns more easily, a decision particularly popular among those who want to use guns for self-defense in a country where there are rampant levels of violence. Polls show that a majority of Brazilians aren't really in favor of it. Cartoonist Ado Era portraying Bolsonaro and his friends in this illustration here as bullets, really summing up this decision by one word: bang.
There were some strong sentiments in his speech, though, as well. Diptyque, at one point, he vowed to free Brazil from socialism and political correctness.
That's right. Those comments made in that speech to the nation yesterday, in which, as you said, he promised to free Brazil from socialism. That's what Folha da Sao Paulo is noting here. He also vowed that the Brazilian flag would symbolically never be red unless that red was blood spilt to keep it green and yellow. Very belligerent comments. And for the cartoonist Carlos Latouf, it was very, very much a military speech. We found this cartoon from him online, very on the nose here, a Nazi symbol with the Brazilian presidential scarf wrapped around it.
Meanwhile, seeing there that, of course, Bolsonaro, front page of the international papers as well, there he is on the Financial Times. Their headline reading, Brazil leader vows to fight corruption. Overall, Diptyque, how are international papers reacting to his election?
Well, the Financial Times reminds us that this is a turning point in Brazilian politics. He's the first far-right leader in Brazil since a military dictatorship 3 decades ago. Setting the tone of his leadership, perhaps, could be seen in his list of guests. He invited Hungary's Viktor Orban, also a populist leader, Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu, leftist leaders like Latin American leaders Nicolás Maduro, Miguel Díaz-Canel from Cuba, and Daniel Ortega from Nicaragua were actually not invited to his ceremony. Now, the Financial Times also reminds us that he's often called the tropical Trump for his similarities to Donald Trump in his politics, in the way he expresses himself. The Financial Times wondering if Bolsonaro will be able to live up to a second nickname that he has that's called Messiah. Will he be able to govern inclusively? This is, of course, a man who, after all, expressed nostalgia for the military dictatorship and denigrated homosexuals. The Spanish daily El Mundo calls it a mighty presidential ceremony, underlining his promise to, quote, put God and Brazil above all else.
Okay, well, let's move on now, Diptyque, to India. And there's been a New Year's Day Women's Wall protest. It's garnering a lot of attention.
Tens of thousands of women formed a 620-kilometer human chain in the state of Kerala, as you see on the front page of this local language paper, Varta Bharati. This, as 2 women have now entered the centuries-old Sabarimala temple that's really at the center of this protest. For the first time since the Supreme Court lifted a ban on women of menstruating age from going to that temple. That decision made last year is due to be appealed later this month. It sparked clashes between female protesters supporting the decision and Hindu nationalists who want that ban upheld, seeking a change. That's how the daily paper The Hindu puts it on its front page. Many papers are hailing this as a turning point in Indian gender politics.
And finally, to end on something a lot different and perhaps somewhat lighter, Diptyque, a Swiss college has met Yodeling a university degree.
That's right, university degree as bachelor degree and master's degree. The Lucerne University of Applied Sciences and Arts has been offering a Yodeling degree since last fall. That's what the USA Today is reporting. A bachelor's and master's degree focusing on vocal training and also a study of traditional Swiss yodeling to the more modern variant audience. Yodeling, for those of you who aren't really familiar, is a Swiss folk song usually used by shepherds to call their herds. Speaking of Swiss legends, though, Roger Federer faced off against Serena Williams yesterday in a New Year's Day mixed doubles exhibition match. It was a clash of the titans. The two champions have never played against each other. Federer and his teammate Belinda Bencic won the match against Serena Williams and her partner Frances Tiago. The players had nothing but praise for each other on court and on Twitter, as you see from Roger Federer's Twitter account. "Oh, what a night," he tweeted. By the way, that match was played in Perth in Australia, attended by over 14,000 people. That's the highest single session in the event's 31-year history.
Okay, yeah, drawing the crowds there. Diptyka, Laurent, thanks a lot for that look at the international papers.